Hello and welcome to Motorsport and Performance. I'm Teddy and today we have a McLaren 720s Performance Spider in for a full Brooke race exhaust system, turbo back. We also have a McLaren 720s Spider MSO for a sole race pipe install. That car already has downpipes fitted, but we're looking for some more noise. Let's get stuck in, we've got a lot to do.
Right guys, so we're in the dyno cell with the 720s. As you've seen, we've just been installing a full Brooke race exhaust system on this car. So it's got a downpipes and silencer deletes. It's got an X pipe on the back of it. We've had it on the dyno, tuning it. With these cars, it is best to take the ECU out and tune the cars directly to the ECU, so program directly to the board rather than the OBD port, because they can be a bit temperamental. So we've had the ECU in and out a few times, doing a few revisions, and this is where it's at. So the car's making 818 wheel horsepower and 660 foot-pound of torque at the wheels. So when this car came in, it peaked at 650 wheel horsepower on stock software and stock hardware. But if you have a look, the car actually braking up towards the top end. So as we got up to about 7,000 RPM, the RPM started to, you can see how it starts to deviate. And these cars run extremely rich from factory. So top end's like 0.7 lambda. So obviously once we've tuned it and taken the meows off, we've been able to lean it out a little bit, and that's basically stopped this. So this is basically a rich misfire. So this is basically a rich misfire because the lambda's just way too rich. So we've turned the boost up, it's running like 1.55, 1.6 bar peak, and running 0.8 lambda, so it's a lot leaner than factory lambda, and yeah, it's making a lot of power. So these two dips here, from my understanding, the car's got like a active rear differential, so it moves power around from wheel to wheel, and because the dynos are linked and it's not a solid axle like a roller, each dyno's got its own eddy current absorber, so it's got to load each wheel basically, and the TCU and the engine control unit are working together to keep the power basically equal. So it's shifting power from one wheel to the other wheel, and because of that, the dyno's then having to brake more, brake more, brake more, and this is the only car that actually does that on this dyno. So that's why you get them little dips, and you can actually hear it through the RPM range. It's basically the dyno just grabbing it a little bit more, so it goes, and that's the dyno grabbing each hub basically. But them dips, you can't see them in the logs. So when the car's out on the road, you're never going to feel that because it doesn't exist. It's basically the dyno creating something that doesn't exist. So I can show you the actual data log so you can see how smooth the boost is, and that isn't an actual representation of how the car will feel on the road. So just because I know people are going to be like, wow, well, it's got two big dips in it, that's why the dips are there. The car's tuned perfectly fine and it's going to absolutely rip. So yeah, I'll show you the data logs, and yeah, screen. So this is your engine speed. This is getting measured from the, not measured, this is an actual parameter from the ECU. So engine speed from corner to corner, 2000 RPM to 8000 RPM. And you can see that there's a big difference in RPM here. Even if the boost control was literally all over the place, that should still be steady. So that just proves to me that the power's getting moved around, the dyno's struggling to maintain the same RPM per second. So when I set the actual ramp on the dyno, I can set 400 RPM per second, 500 RPM per second, and that's a controlled ramp run. So like I say, the boost comes in and it just sits nice at 1.6 and kind of just tapers off nicely. Before it's even reached its boost pressure, the RPM's going up and down. So yeah, like I say, that's just one of them things. We could data log it on the road, but I know for a fact, if you log this on the road, you wouldn't see any of that. It'd just be a smooth, progressive RPM signal. So yeah, all good. Let's go.
And there we have it. How cool is that? Two McLarens in the workshop making some serious noise and some serious performance. Let us know in the comments which one you preferred. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.